Hi, I'm Dennis. Some of my friends have asked me how to burn this fireplace. It seems to be quite difficult. Some of them say it's a pain in the ass because the fire doesn't burn and it makes smoke all over the house. They burned it a few times. It's about finding the right way. And I'm going to put me in the fireplace today. The process of some of the so-called experiences. Share with you. There are two things you have to prepare before you start a fire. What is it? This text consists of 12 characters. Coffee, and the other one, cell phone. This fire-making process, relax, to have this happiness. Do not consider it as an established fact, since it is quite tiring. Okay, let's not talk too much. I'll start by cleaning the fireplace. Here. Where are my gloves? Gloves for sure. Head to the Home Depot for all your needs. These gloves are $1 a pair. They're great. They're great. It's very good to work on the fire. This fire. There's got to be a metal bucket with a lid like this. I'm pulling out the ashes. The ashes were burned last night. Look at it. It's been burning for a long time. Look at the ashes. This wood burns. In the end, there's just a little bit of ash left. If the wood burns, you won't have much dust left. That's all that's left at the end. How's the light? Yeah. This ash every time. I'm gonna have to empty it out. And when it's clean, this oxygen will do. To the bottom of the fire, you don't take out the ash. Can a fire be built directly on top of it without any issue? Yes, it's possible. Anyway, that would not feel fulfilling or satisfactory. Put the lid on after welding the helmet. It burned through last night. There are currently no sparks within this area of proximity. There are still sparks when the sky shovels ashes. You need to cover it tightly. I've got it. Put this bucket on the side. This bucket has to have a lid, but it won't work without one. It's done. Now it's time to start. Clean the glass. What about the glass? Have a magazine ready. This magazine. This is the paper. Flash it up. Because the water sprayed on the glass will fall to the ground. Now it's going up. Water should be sprayed onto the glass from above. Once the task is completed, it will descend. It's going down. And when you wipe it, start from the bottom. Wipe it like this. It'll go down as it goes. As you go. Go up and block it. Right? split the paper like this. Look at this. It's covered with dust and water. You can still use it. This side is made of magazines. This paper. Wipe it, because the ink on the magazines can match with the furnace ash. It's a chemical reaction. It is possible to tidy this part right here. This side, and you're done with the paper. Next side. What about another spray? With what? With that rag. This one. This is a piece of cloth. I'll get you a good one. What kind of old clothes are these? Is it similar to a torn fabric or something? Tear it into small pieces. It's good for cleaning glass. You don't have to wash it, just throw it away. It looks clean, but then you wipe it. Look at all the dust on it. Every time I wipe this, I'm so excited. It's not that I like to work. It's this. I'm cleaning it. The glass is so clean it makes you feel so thick and cozy in my heart. If it's not translucent, it's no fun. I'm done with the inside. I'll clean the outside as well. Take a look. The outside is usually cleaner. This cloth. It's done its job. Throw it away. It's done. There's one piece of paper left. This piece of paper is balled up in the field. It's for the pilot light. This is the paper for the fire. Ball it up like this. There's this one. 3 or 5 sheets. Magazine this paper first. Ball it up. This one's easy. Alright, let's go. Tighten up. We've got a lot of threads here. You're all good kids. There's getting in this. So there's no fire. When I was a kid, I liked to play with fire. Sometimes I always get beat up by my parents for playing with fire. This fire starter. This is a paper ball. Let's start. Vacuuming. I have a small vacuum cleaner. It's easy to carry. Taking wood now. I've prepared everything. Let me introduce these items. This is for the center fire. This is a slightly larger piece of wood. This is birch bark. And the bark. This is for making the base fire. Return the base fire. Medium fire, right? And the big fire. They're all famous. It's for fun. Firstly, place the birch bark on the surface. Birch bark. It's good stuff. It's very flammable. There have been some forest fires, natural forest fires. Because the birch bark of spontaneous combustion, this kind of forest fire, it's called an underfire. And newspaper clumps and birch bark. It's a fire starter. Now put this. This is a small piece of wood. Hit you right on the birch bark. That's bark too. I didn't ready this small wood. I didn't prepare that much. More birch bark. The inner bark. This is the outer bark. Put some inner bark on it. This is also good. The text is extremely greasy as well. Put it together like this. You can't rush this. I already mentioned this to you before. Cell phones and coffee on the side. I'm making a fire. Drinking coffee. If you need anything, your cell phone is right next to you. That is the reason why it is enjoyable to construct a fire. We'll build some small pieces of wood. Tree bark. After you put the fire starter, these small pieces of wood to serve as a foundation for the flame. You don't have to put so many at once. If it's too heavy, the fire starter underneath. The paper won't burn well. So light it first. Don't be afraid. Don't turn it off now. It's okay. So, look at it. It's removing the smoke from the closed pipe by means of suction. That's why it's okay for me to have such a big slit. But you shouldn't go away this moment. It's crucial that you stay now. Look at this big cap. So that the oxygen can get in. The smoke can't come out and the fire is still burning. This is a critical time. Don't rush to add more firewood. Let it burn a little longer. Don't rush to add more. Ensure that it ignites sufficiently down below to produce a sustained burn. Let it burn well. Let these little pieces of bark. Let it burn well. Make sure it burns well. It's okay. The fire isn't too hot at this time. Put it further in. It's okay. A lot of your viewers were good kids when they were kids. They didn't play with fire. Now it's a bit of a pain in the behind, but still manageable. It's easy. You'll get the hang of it in a couple of tries, right? Now look at this fire. It's heating up. Okay, keep going. Add some more. A small piece of wood or bark. This is the inner bark of the tree. Do not cover the tender bark layer while applying. It's too soon to put the skin on. It's not a good time to use the epidermis. The epidermis cannot be the primer. base fire. Let it burn a little longer. At this time, remember to bring your coffee with you. Have a cup of coffee. Watch the fire, or thinking. Or you can just drift off. Give it time, give you a space. Let it burn. By the way, some of my friends have asked me, is the fireplace truly the solitary room that remains warm? The other rooms aren't warm. I've done some research, especially with the developer friends, and talked with them. I asked them about this fireplace. Now, do you think fireplaces are important? They do not know either, but there must be now. The construction of the fireplace, it doesn't do much to actually heat the house. But whether it's for decoration or for heating with electricity or gas, it appears that they are still in the process of constructing it carefully. If you don't have a fireplace, what about the buyer? The buyer is sometimes more concerned about this thing. This just said, the heat from the fireplace, it goes upwards. It goes upwards. The heat reaches every room, including like the fireplace wall. This pipe goes through the wall. It's like a firewall in northeast China. This is a firewall. As the pipe smokes upwards, and the heat is distributed on the wall. And this fireplace of mine is in the basement, and I have 2 floors above that. The first and second floor. And the temperature, it'll be higher. The bottom fire looks like it's about to rise, right? Slowly build up this small stick of firewood. Build the firewood stick. Don't be in a hurry during this process. If you're in a hurry, don't do this. You mustn't make a fire. The fire was half burned and you ran away. The stove won't burn and it's still smoking. Perhaps there's this type of possibility that exists. Fire that burns buildings, etc. It's dangerous. A fire can happen even if it burns outside. So there's no rush. Build this long. That's enough. Don't put any more. Some friends are in a hurry and say they are afraid of the fire going out. The burning process of wood, you have to give it time to burn. At this time, you can continue to drink your coffee or call. This is the time to wait for it to burn. Don't be in a hurry. Some people ask me, what's the difference between this fireplace? Install an efficient heater for warmth, or that kind of electric fireplace. It works just as well, doesn't it? In all honesty, that statement isn't accurate nor factual. The heat that comes out of the fireplace, I haven't analyzed it to see if it's the same as electricity. This text can promote warming or temperature regulation. But it's true. I have a deep feeling that, especially in our bedroom on the second floor, if we had a fireplace today, every corner of the bedroom, it's all warm. If you don't have a fireplace, keep central AC temp within range. The AC temperature is still 21, 22 degrees, but I still feel cramped and stuck in a difficult situation. That is the reason why we possess a profound sensation that if we come home and turn on the fireplace, I would feel extremely comfortable and relaxed. Take off your coat and put on a t-shirt, no problem. If there's no fireplace, gotta get used to it. I'll be fine. Coat off, long sleeves. That's it. So you can see that the fire is slowly catching, but remember at this time, please refrain from placing that large piece of wood inside. It will quickly extinguish in the blink of an eye, but not quite as fast as a lightning strike in the night. The fire has already ignited and begun. Now that the bottom fire is up, put in these 2 pieces of wood. It's wood that burns medium fire. After the medium firewood is fully burned, can it be that big? Logs, when the wood filled in. At that time, you have the power to accomplish what must be done. Many individuals inquire about the difference between wet and dry wood. This how? To know if this wood is dry or wet or what is it, listen to the sound of this. Look at me, this wood is dry. Look at this wood when it dries. Listen to the sound. Barely, it's bared. Listen to the sound. If it's wet wood, when you knock on it, it'll sound like boom boom. It's like this. It's like a bang 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 when you put your hand on it. It's like this. After that, when you turn it over, it has no moisture. There's no moisture in the center. It burns without a problem. That is the reason why I tend to store this wood outdoors during the summer season. I've been splitting it and leaving it there, so it burns well in the winter. The fire is burning with medium intensity and warmth. At this time, we can continue for a while. One more piece of wood. How to build with wood. A friend of mine asked me how to build this wood to make it work. This wood is so built like this. Don't perfectly align it, let it be a bit messy. You don't want to line it up neatly, it's not going to work. Because the oxygen can't get in, it has to be supported. When it is in a quadrupedal stance, that is when its growth occurs. Burning the fireplace. Don't be in a hurry. That is the reason I mentioned it to you in the early stages. Make sure the coffee's ready. Take your cell phone with you. If there's anything, we'll do it by the fireplace. Something to think about. Look at the fire. Just think about it here. If you have no tasks at hand, there's no harm in having some free time. It's nice to just hang out here, isn't it? The position of the fire. This is the position of the wood. It can be adjusted at any time. For example, the wood is too high. Adjust the position a little bit. Adjust it a little. Tighten it up a bit. It's fine. Burn it in a different direction. take a glimpse of that blazing fire, don't you think? Let's build another one. Make sure it's tight with air in between. Take a glance at the Home Depot gloves sold over there. I distribute for Home Depot, the supplier. Home Depot refuses to compensate me for my advertising efforts? I'm going to have to ask them for it. $1 a pair of these gloves would be great. It doesn't matter. That's why some of my friends were so scared when the fire started. I've been talking a lot about how it's okay because it's okay. There are some female netizens. When the fire started, they shouted, "I'm numb, what should I do?" I'm afraid the fire will come out. It's okay. Fire is a very friendly thing. Fire is very friendly. It's good. This stove you can get your hands in. It is of no consequence. Simply refrain from rubbing it, and the situation will exacerbate, even though the temperature outdoors is still not elevated. When you're not busy, you can rub some oil on the fireplace. We used to rub some oil on the fireplace when we were kids. When I was young in Beijing, we had a stove in our home where we cooked meals. We lived in cottages and built stoves. The stoves burned honeycomb coal. Adults used to use the stoves. Meat skin? That's us. The skin of the meat we used to cook with, so we'd pick off the skin and use a piece of it to clean the stove. The stove. Tried it out here, we'll amend later. I also got a bit of meat skin on it and rubbed it in. My spouse mentioned a foul odor, so I promptly ceased whatever I was doing. However, you can still gently massage it. It's fun. It's fun with a fireplace. Some people say you have to be rich to play with a fireplace. As long as you work hard. It doesn't cost much. Really? And you can save money. After a year, some people are still skeptical about the numbers I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You could save over $1,000 a year. Electricity. And gas. Especially in our Toronto, Canada. It's basically winter for half the year. The gas and electricity bill is a big expense in the winter. But this fireplace, as I told you, I talked to my developer friends, and they told me that this fireplace can really help this house as a supplemental heat source. And sometimes, for example, when the water and electricity are cut off, this fireplace can also be used in the past, it was used for cooking. It used to be used for cooking and heating. Now it's important to keep warm. It's okay. The medium fire is basically up. Now that it is hanging, we can ensure that it continues to blaze brightly. Keep it burning. At this time, this pile of firewood, this is the current situation. Let me tell you. Basically, you don't have to go over in half an hour. But remember to put these chopsticks, which we call fire chopsticks in Beijing. Put them here, over the door. Be sure to lock it. This my dear old lock, shall remain intact. Don't let the wood slip out. It'll cause a fire. Stick your chopsticks in here. Leave a gap at the edge. Oxygen can get in. You don't have to worry about it now. What are you going to do? I'm going, if I've talked to you this far. What else do you know about burning fireplaces? If you have any comments or good ideas, we can share them in the community to share. Okay then, see you soon.